Hi and welcome to the introduction of Java and Android. In this session, I'll primarily focus on Java and how do we actually get the required software, the JDK, and also write a hello world program. Also, we see that Java history, what are the various versions of Java, and the release cycle that we have till now. Okay, so to start with, how do we to install Java, what we need is we need JDK, Java Development Kit. So that you can actually get it from Google. Just type JDK download, and I see here, now Oracle owns the Java because it bought Sun Microsystems. So the first link that you see itself is the one that actually shows the right link. Now if you actually open the link, actually, you could see the latest version is actually Java 7. So Java SE stands for Java Standard Edition 7, and Java SE 7 U2 stands for update 2. It is more a patch or update to the JDK. So you should always download the latest one if applicable. And you see the link here, JDK download, and also you have JRE download. We need JRE stands for Java runtime environment, and this is only to execute the programs. But for developers to write Java programs, what we really need is JDK. So the JDK can be downloaded from here, and if you click this link, it will take you to another page where you see that you could actually download. I think it should be this is the next screen such as, but you should download this version, Java development version for, yes, this is the one, right? Actually, yeah, Windows, based on your operating system. If you are running an 32-bit operating system, Windows XP or so, what you can do is you can download this version. And if you are using a latest computer and with an operating system that is 64-bit, then you should download 64-bit OS, that is for Windows x64. In case if you are using a Linux, then you can use different versions of Linux here, Linux x86, basically, like, one is the RPM and other one is a tar GZ, and next we have 64-bit as well. In case if you are using a Ubuntu has an update facility, directly you can get it, or hopefully you should be getting it by default. So that is where you actually get the software. So once you get the software, you install it. Let me see from my downloads. I have downloaded it before. So you see like this. So what you need to do is click on it, install it, and once you install it, I can probably, I am not going to do this now because I already have I did the installation already, but I wanted to show you that you can download, and the downloaded file looks like this. So this is what the file, you can click run, and it actually it will install the JDK in your computer. Now I'll click cancel when the window when this window comes up. Okay, also actually I don't have permission such as, that is okay, because I already have installed JDK. So now going back to the sample program that I want to introduce you today is this is my sample program. You could see that I have few keywords in colors, public, class, and also public static void. So these things are actually plain Java keywords, and I am storing this into this particular thing. Actually, you can see d training hello world.java, the path I stored that into hello world.java. If you clearly notice, hello world, ikkada file name and the class name, both of them are same. So you should always practice this, and also first character of every word. In case of a multi-word string that you are giving, see here, in case hello world has two words, H and W are capital. So first letter of each word should be in caps. Okay, so that's only for the class names. I'll talk about actually such as this particular thing more later, but I just want to introduce you to the concept of Java programming. So this is how it looks like. If you notice, it looks like the editor that I used here is pretty much a Notepad, but this is actually Notepad Plus. So the Notepad Plus, one sec, let me close this window. You could download it Notepad Plus from internet. It is a simple text pad editor, Notepad plus plus. So you can download this one from the first link that you see here, and that actually will help you to install that software. It is pretty much Notepad. There is nothing great about it, but it has some color coding, some better formatting. For developers, if you wish little bit more than what you have in Notepad, and that is actually what Notepad plus plus is. It is an open source free tool, and you should be comfortable in downloading and using it. Now because I wrote this file, you look at this program. Let me repeat. I wrote public class hello world. I have a parenthesis open and close. There is a bigger block. You could see that when I am at the first at the parenthesis at line number 2, it is actually selecting and showing the end closing parenthesis at line number 8. So similarly, now I have a method here which says public static void main. Main is more a starting method in Java, so that is where your application actually gets kick-started. Okay, so I'll talk about the static method, but essentially what I wanted to introduce the concept now is the main method. Main is you take any language you have, any language we know in the world. Every language needs a starting point, and C, C++, or even C sharp, you always need a main method to start your application, whatever could be the application. And the kind based on the kind of application you are doing, sometimes you may not need to do it because maybe that you are running your application on a server. Okay, so here I just try to do in the main method. I'm just plain simple hello world text I'm printing on the screen. So now what I'll do is I'll actually open the folder that I have actually stored this particular file, and maybe I'll actually start.class because I already did that initially. So once you install JDK, in order to verify that your system is ready to actually to do Java programming, you need to just verify whether you are able to compile the Java file. Okay, I'll talk about more about JDK probably in my next sessions, but if I look at it, the Java, and assuming that you might be having some basic understanding already. So what I need to do is Java C is a Java compiler. Okay, and then you give your file name. When I do this, if your JDK is installed properly and configured properly, it actually doesn't throw any error. If I look at the directory, I see that there is a file, another file, hello world.class is generated. Now how do I run my program? I run Java program using Java and the actual class name. Remember, I will not give .class when I'm running Java programs. In case in my Java C command, you see that I give complete file name hello world.java. When I'm running Java, I don't need to really give the .class extension, because Java will look for .class file with the name hello world in the class path. I'll talk about class path again, environment variables again in a separate as we go along. So when I run this, I could see that hello world. So I could see that my program, whatever I have written here, I'm printing hello world. My intention is that to print hello world on the console. So I achieved that. So that means that my computer is ready to to do Java programming, and JDK is properly installed. Make sure you do this test before you actually do something bigger programming, because often we tend to get into problems with the JDK, setting the class path or environment variables. Okay, so with that, let me close the first basic things, and I'll move on to the Java versions that we have. Okay, just it should take 1 or 2 minutes. Let me, if you look at the Wikipedia page on the Java versions, you could clearly see that Java was released around 1996 January. I was thinking that it is 1995 because they might have released that basic versions in 1995, and the standard the beta version in 1995, and the final version of 1.0 was in 1996. Fine, so they started with 1996. Then we have next version JDK 1.1 in 1997, and JDK 1.2 in 98. If you clearly notice that initial versions were with 1 year gap, and then 1.3 took 2 years. 1.3 took 2 years gap because they released it in year 2000. Next 1.4 came in 2002. That was the place, that was the time when we were actually like it was more like J2EE, J2EE, everything was actually was coming from the earlier versions around this time. uh, Now then came the 1.5. They actually wanted to give bigger numbers, and there are a lot of changes in Java. They introduced so many new concepts such as new features, so there was a big leap in the way the versions are referred, because Java 1.5 now we started calling as 5.0. Next, that came in year 2002. Then came Java 6, or 1.6, but we say that Java 6. Now we stopped using the one dot number such as. So that came in 2006. You could notice that there is a gap of 2 years between any two releases. Now, if I look at it, the latest one, the Java SE7 latest Java version is actually released in 2011 with almost a gap of 5 years. 2006, yes, almost a gap of 5 years. There are some politics around, because Oracle bought Sun Microsystems, and Sun Microsystem owned Java, and Sun had a different plan. So Oracle, when it bought it, it actually wanted to push or have its own schema of things to push into the Java release. So it took some time, but such as for developers, what I would say is Java 5.0, whatever J2SE 5.0 that was released in 2004, is pretty much fine to learn Java and use most of the features, unless and until you want to explore some of the latest features. You don't really need latest version of the Java. You could read this Wikipedia page online when you are connected to internet. So that's all for today. So what we have seen is we know how to download Java. We know how to download Java, and you click JDK, then you go there, select the particular version of the JDK that you specific to your platform, right? And then install it. Then you can write programs. I have done a sample program, hello world program here. You could see that, and I see my program output right here. So that's all for today. Hope you understood the concepts, and you'll get benefit out of this session.